What's up, it's me, Sarah. Welcome back to my channel. And before we get started with today's video, remember to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And without further ado, let's get on with the video. By the way, just a disclaimer, this video will contain some spoilers for some of the books. So if I show a book and you have not read it and you're interested in reading it and don't want to be spoiled, then just skip forward a little bit. I won't be talking about them for very long unless it is a series. So let's just start with the series you know is going to be on here because it is my third favorite book series of all time, and that is The Hunger Games. So The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins is the first book. The second book is Catching Fire, and the third book is Mockingjay. And I gave all three of these books 5 stars. It is my third favorite book series of all time. And so basically, this series, in the first book, the series is about Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark, and they go into these games where children are drawn randomly. One from every district is drawn, and they go into these games where only one of them survives. They fight each other to the death. And so, spoilers, in this one, Katniss and Peeta both survive the end because of poison berries. They were both going to kill themselves when they were the final two. But the game maker stopped them and said they could both win. So that is this one. But President Snow, who's the evil president of the main city and of the capital, he is not happy with that. So he is not happy with Katniss, and he does not want her to stay around and be alive. And then in the second book, in this one, Katniss and Peeta go on their victory tour to all the districts, and without doing it on purpose, Katniss starts an uprising of the people in the districts. So they are trying to fight back against the Capitol and against President Snow. So he is not happy about that. So he makes the games where they put winners from the districts, one of each gender winner from all the districts, back into the games. And so Peeta and Katniss go back into the games, and Haymitch is working with them from the outside, and a bunch of them are on a team. Like, Finnick is trying to help them, Beetee and Wyrus, Joanna. They're trying to help Katniss survive and Peeta, of course, is helping her. But they need Katniss to survive so she can lead the revolution. And at the end of this book, she does break the game and gets rescued by Plutarch and Haymitch, and the others like Finnick and Beetee do as well, but Peeta and Joanna are captured by people from the Capitol. And then in this one, they've completely tortured and changed Peeta's mind and reprogrammed him to believe that Katniss is evil. And of course, he doesn't think that way forever. He grows to realize that she's not evil and that he does love her. He still gets awful feelings and, like, not episodes, but like things he can't control where he's just tortured and it's constantly going to be there and it's going to be there forever. But by the end, they do end up together and they do have kids in the future, and it is just an amazing book. And this whole series is just so amazing. I can't recommend it enough. So I realized that took actually quite a bit of time, so I'm not going to be going too deep into synopsis for these, if at all. So I have a little stack here of some more. This is not it. I'm going to go through my bookshelves again and Goodreads and see what else I think makes the cut. But first I want to talk about Broken Bow by Sophie Lark. I love this book. This is about Riona and Raylan. It is a mafia dark romance, and it has the bodyguard trope, and I just love their relationship, and Raylan is so sweet. Next is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This book was so good. This is about Olive and Adam, and Olive is a scientist, and Adam is a professor at her college that she attends, and it is a fake dating romance, and this book was just so good, and I can't wait to check out more from this author. I really want to read her book, Love on the Brain, that came out this year. And next is The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley. This is a bodyguard romance about an elementary school teacher, and royals move in next door, and it's her relationship with the royals bodyguard. Next is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This is I'd call it just fiction, like literary fiction. It's a mystery, it's a romance, it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's like kind of just women's fiction. So I'm just going to say it's a fiction book. And so this is about Kaya, who lives in the marsh, and she raised herself, and then one day her abusive boyfriend is found dead, and it's the whole book we're figuring out who did it. And so yeah, this is this one. Again, loved this book. I know there was some controversy around this author earlier this year. I'm not sure if there still is, but I did love the book, and so I definitely recommend. Next is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Book 1, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is about a boy named Percy, and he is half human, half god, so he's a demigod. He is the son of Poseidon, and it's just his adventures in the magical world. Well, it's the gods' world, and he has to fight different monsters throughout the series and different bad guys, and he meets some friends and some people who he thinks are friends but turn out not to be so nice to him. So definitely recommend this book. It is a fantasy middle grade. And lastly for this chunk of books is Crest by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in the Lunar Chronicle series. I read this and the fourth book, Winter, this year, and this book was my favorite in the series, and I really enjoyed it. So this is like the Rapunzel retelling, and I really enjoy this. It's my favorite. Close. This one and Cinder are really close, but this one I think is my favorite in the series. But I read this one and Winter this year. Winter is not going to be on this list, although I did enjoy it. It is not one of my favorites of the year. So that is that one. Now, time to put all of these back on the shelves and get another stack. Okay, so now on to the last stack. So first we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I read this book and New Moon this year, but this one definitely was the one I preferred, and I gave this 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is about a girl named Bella who moves from living with her mom to living with her dad in Forks, and she meets this guy, Edward, and it turns out he's a vampire, and her best friend, Jacob, is a werewolf. So vampires and werewolves exist, and it's her love story between the two of them, but really Edward. But she does have feelings for Jacob as well, and Jacob definitely has feelings for her. But this is about Bella and Edward, and they are in high school because she's in high school. She's like 17, and Edward is like, how old? 100 something? I don't know. He's a vampire, but he's stuck the same age, and so are all his siblings, like adoptive siblings. I would hate to be in high school forever. That would suck. I mean, I guess you get pretty good at it, but I still would not want to do that. Next is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is about Hannah and Fox. This is the second book in the Bellinger series, and this is a friends to lovers romance, and I just thought it was really cute, and I loved their chemistry and these characters. Next is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I love this. This is about Nora and Charlie, and I love it because it is about books, and they love books. So it is their relationship, and I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed all of these. Next is Damaged Goods by Talia Hibbert. This is a Ravenswood novella, and this is about Laura and Samir. This is a second chance romance. It does have the pregnancy trope. She is pregnant from her to-be ex-husband, and so she goes back to the town where she spent a summer or whatever when she was a teenager and had this relationship with Samir, and this is their second chance romance, and I thought it was really good. Next is The Starry Skies Over the Chocolate Pot Cafe by Jessica Redland, and this is about Tara, and it is a romance between her. It's an enemies to lovers, and the stuff that happened with her ex-boyfriend and her ex-sister, or her stepsister, adoptive sister, I think. And that is just, she's had some hard stuff happen to her, and I understand why she's turned away from love because of what happened with her ex-boyfriend. But it is amazing, and the guy she falls for in the end is really nice. Next is Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley. This is a YA fantasy. It is sapphic, And I really enjoyed this. It was very good. I loved, what was her name? Tamsin and Ren. I loved their characters, and I thought they had good chemistry. And it was just really good. I loved the world. Next is Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. This is part of the Twisted Tales series that says, what if the Sleeping Beauty never woke up? So it's Disney. It's like fairy tales, but with a twist, and I really enjoyed this, and I thought it was really good. The last physical book I'm going to talk about is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a YA book. It is a fantasy. It is a fantasy romance, but there's no romance in this first book, but I hear there is starting in the second one. And so this is enemies to lovers, because in this first book they are just enemies. But I really enjoyed it, and this world sounds super cool, and I really want to continue with this series. And the last book I have to talk about is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I love this book. So this book is about Spensa, and it is a YA sci-fi. And that is it for this video, I guess. Those are a lot of books. Those are my favorites of 2022. Today that I am filming this is December, what day is it? December 17th, I'm pretty sure. But those are my favorites so far of the year. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Before you go, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.